Hello and welcome to today's Fertility Q&A Wednesday. It's Fiona here, and I know it was an unusual request, but I was asked to start a little bit later, and I totally get that because I don't want to waffle when I get on here. And I specifically, the first question that came in for today that was really important, I'm not going to mention her name, but she said that she's invited her friend to join the fertility help group, which is something that I recommend you do if you haven't done already, because I offer daily support, daily inspiration, that's going to help you with fertility tips and techniques to transform your fertility, to get you baby ready in 2019. And this particular question, sorry, I'm just reading my my laptop as I speak to you. That way I'm covering everything. This specific question came through saying, I've invited my friend to join the fertility help group. She is desperate to have her baby this year in 2019. And she's willing to do whatever it takes. She's going to be really committed. She doesn't want to do anything that's fluffy. She just wants results. Can you help her out? Can you please talk her through what you offer? And this woman said, look, I know that what you do works. I've seen it work on my friends. And she's also, I'm talking about the woman that's invited her friend to join the group. She's also experienced a huge shift in her fertility. And when I say a huge shift in fertility, she's actually had some scans done. Obviously, she had tests. Hello, thank you for joining me. She had some tests done, obviously, before she joined the group. And she had, which is really, really common, unexplained infertility, which is very frustrating if you've been diagnosed with that. Because it's, in many cases, easier to be told, this is what the issue is, now focus on healing that. Or we can focus on dealing with that, and then we can get you results. So, what I'm helping her with, she got some scans done, and she could see that even though she had unexplained infertility, she had low AMH. AMH is standing for the anti-Müllerian hormone test that gets done, and it's meant to signify your egg reserve. Hi Leanne, thanks for joining me in your lunch break. So when you have low ovarian reserve, it obviously makes it more difficult to have children. But it's all about the quality more than the quantity. And I'm sure that if you've ever had IVF and they've stimulated you, and I've even had clients that have been stimulated prior to coming to see me, they could produce up to 20 eggs. And none of them turn into embryos, none of them. So it's not about the quantity, it's really about the quality. It's all about egg health. Now, egg health takes 3 months, so the science reports say. However, your follicles is what turns into eggs, and they take 9 months. Now, I'm not saying, okay, come sign up with me and in 9 months' time, I'm going to help you. No, in 3 months' time, I can get you results. In 3 months' time, 80% of my clients have happy, healthy babies. They get pregnant and then they go on to having happy, healthy babies. Absolutely no genetic defects. And I've been doing this for 12 years. So it really, really, really does work. And why it works is because what I'm doing is changing the environment of the cells. So changing anything that's acidic, and the acid environment is caused by toxicity, which is caused from exposure to toxins, breathing it in. Maybe you're wearing toxic perfume, toxic body products, you're washing with toxic things. Maybe you're washing detergent, or the way you use your dishes, and maybe you're not using gloves, or maybe your gloves are even toxic, and it just accumulates and accumulates and accumulates in the body. And as it accumulates, all these toxins float around, and the body's like, we don't know what to do with this. And it creates a lot of energy to try and break it down. And fertility requires a lot of energy. So where does the body get the energy from? From the reproductive system, because we can function without our fertility. We can. We're hardwired for that. You know, if we're under duress or stress, if a tiger's running after us, you know, we are hunter and gatherers by nature, then the body responds by switching the central nervous system from the parasympathetic state, which is rest, digest, and fertility, over to the sympathetic state, fight or flight, where all the blood goes to the extremities, away from the reproductive system and the digestive system, which is what causes illness in the long term and fertility issues in the short term. So when it pulls the energy away from egg health and womb health, and if your man's suffering a lot of stress, then it's his sperm health that would be degenerating. Then it's going to affect the health of your baby. Because all of my clients, every single one has said, I don't just want a baby, they've got to be a healthy baby. And that's why I focus on an epigenetic protocol that looks at what's causing the acidic environment. The acidic environment's caused by thoughts, feelings, and emotions as well. You could be on the best diet, as I've told you in past lives, as in past live recordings. That sounded very woo-woo there. Maybe I did tell you in past lives. Hey, who knows? Anyway, I have mentioned this before that, Leanne, I hope you were laughing at that. I've mentioned this before that even if you're on a, hey, thank you for watching. Do I pronounce your name as Tabo? Let me know. Is it a silent N? And when you are feeling stressed, it doesn't matter how healthy your food is or what nutritional support you're getting, it's still going to affect your fertility. And a lot of cases nowadays, clients have autoimmune issues or lots of allergies. Either way, it's meaning that there is a breakdown in the body, okay? You've got a response in the body where your immune system is running on overdrive, and therefore it's affecting getting pregnant or holding a pregnancy through to full term. And we see this often if you have raised NK cells, raised natural killer cells. So this comes from stress, this comes from toxicity, this comes from modern lifestyles, okay? So you need to have a look at everything. How do you detox? Because you've got to detox specifically for fertility. There's no point Googling, how do I do a detox? Is this detox going to be good for fertility? Because some of them are really good, but some of them aren't good for if you accidentally get pregnant. So, I can guide you on that. We want to make sure that you're getting regenerative cellular repair overnight, making sure you've got the right levels of melatonin. Melatonin's a thing where you can take it as a supplement, and I have mentioned it before, but if you're doing IVF, that's okay to take. If you're trying to fall pregnant naturally, melatonin isn't always ideal. So there's all these little things which, if you've got the right guidance and support, you will make sure that you get the results in 2019, and that's something that I offer. So to help your friend who wants to join or has just joined the fertility help group, and maybe you have too if you're watching this, and you want just results, get me pregnant this year, I can help because I can work on that genetic framework. So when you have the epigenetic protocol that I've created for my clients, and I'm going to send a little link actually. I'm going to put a link to this that shows you a diagram of the epigenetic protocol so you can see in your head, you can get a visual, it's like an infographic of how this works, because that way you can genuinely get pregnant very quickly and hold your pregnancy through to full term. But everything needs to be done, not just one or two things here, one or two things there. It's done collectively. And there are 5 key points, 5 key aspects that need to be addressed at the same time. And when that happens, even if you only follow the protocol 80%, you still get results. And I see it time and time and time again. And this is for women who have all kinds of issues, ranging from just unexplained infertility, trying naturally, want to keep trying naturally to get pregnant naturally, or women who have failed IVF, who have non-existent AMH, their FSH is too high, they could have chromosomal issues, they could have raised natural killer cells, they could have too many allergies, so many issues. They could have issues around their age. They could be 46, 47, 48, 49. Now I help women in that category too. The average age is 43, so I do have a lot of 35 to 38-year-olds. But, overall, everything is changeable because we look at changing the mind. The mind is what we call plastic, okay? It's malleable. And the mind helps to create what's happening in the body. If you shift what's happening in the mind, you can shift your physiology. We know this to be true. There's a lot of science and spirituality that backs this. So what I recommend is if you're super keen, okay, dive in and see what I'm offering. So I recommend the Sacred Fertility Formula. It's a 3-day course, very easy to follow. And if you like what I'm saying and if you gel with me, then I highly recommend that you sign on to my Fertile Lifestyle program, because that's statistically what gets results. That's it. That is it. 3 months. Most people get pregnant in 2, but it's a 3-month protocol. And it's funny, I spoke to a lady in her mid-40s and she'd signed up for the program, and then I get an alert when the programs come to the last week. And I thought, oh, that's funny. Like, I haven't heard from her. I wonder how she's going. And then I was meant to email her, and the email just stayed in my drafts. And then a couple of weeks later, I was like, oh my goodness, I still haven't emailed her. So I emailed her and just said, hey, how are you going? I would love an update. And I just wrote, I'm really surprised actually I haven't heard from you because I thought you would have been pregnant. And she got back to me straight away going, actually, yeah, just did the 6-week scan and we're pregnant. And I was like, yeah, I thought it would be odd that you'd complete the program and hadn't had the change. Now, she had secondary subfertility. So she had 2 children, she wanted a third, and she had a lot of allergies, okay? So because of that, there's a lot of inflammation in the body. Now, inflammation and oxidative stress are one of the killers for fertility, okay? They really can hold your fertility back. So working with her on that level with supplements, we had a couple of sessions, one-to-one sessions, but predominantly the online course. She changed her water, all those kinds of things. She was living toxic-free, or tox-free is the term nowadays. And that was enough of a shift. And now she is in her 3rd trimester, I believe. So that's fantastic. I've got another client about to approach her 3rd trimester. She met her man quite late in life. She is 46, and on the 3rd try, okay, the 3rd month that they were trying, they fell pregnant naturally. He's 50, she's 46. Absolute miracle, because she was going to a very famous clinic here in London. And before she met him, she was doing IUI and IVF, and it wasn't working. And they said to her, look, you need donor egg because that's the solution for you. And she's like, no, I really want to have my own. And she didn't have a fear around donor egg. She just insisted on having her own. So she met with me because I helped one of her friends, who also now has 2 boys. And that was quite an interesting story. And because she was a very complicated case, and her friend was seeing all these different clinics and traveling all around the world, and no one was able to help her. But she was given my details because another practitioner said, Fiona does amazing fertility meditations that will transform this for you. She had a physical blockage in her body, and I was able to clear that for her with my program. She signed up to my Gold program, and then she was able to have her happy, healthy baby. And then her friend, which is the 46-year-old I was talking about, said to me, I know what you do works miracles, so could you help me? And then now she's literally approaching her 3rd trimester, and everyone, particularly her man, is over the moon thinking, this is incredible. I've heard so many rumors. It's so difficult to get pregnant. You know, she was at that supreme fertile state. And this is a woman who worked very long hours. She recently stopped working for the company she was with, and she decided to set up her own business. And that, if anyone knows, that can be very stressful too. So she was 6 months into running her own business. It was incredibly profitable. And again, that's unheard of. But what happens is, what's happening in your work life and your social life and your home life really does impact your fertility. So if you can get all of it vibrating in a high vibrational state and being in flow, then it helps. So this fertility course helped to bring her fertility up, and to be able to not only get pregnant naturally, but hold her pregnancy. And that's what's happening. So she's getting regular scans. She's a bit of a worrywart, and that's just something that she's still working on. Otherwise, her baby will have that trait too. So she likes to scan regularly, and she's over the moon every time. It's just such a relief every single time. And I want that for you. I want that for all of my clients. And that's why this year in particular, because the vibration of the planet is really strong, 2019, it's all about abundance, which is why I created my January seminar, which is only available for a few more days. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it. The seminar's to get you baby ready in 2019. And if everyone can start applying these techniques by March, then you can all be having your babies in your arms by Christmas. That's the goal. So let's make it happen. You know, it can happen. I've been doing this for 12 years. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. And sadly, what doesn't work is when I have clients who dabble a little bit. So they'll get involved with all the free stuff that I offer, which is fantastic. And then they'll go, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do these supplements and do the rest myself. I pretty much know I can just do some fertility yoga and some fertility meditations, and then I'm going to be fine. And because they're not doing all 5 aspects simultaneously to change the epigenetics, and epigenetics basically means you being the puppeteer of your genes. And when you're the puppeteer of your genes, it means that the genes that you want, the healthy genes you want to be expressed is what happens, that they're the ones that are expressed. So you don't have to worry about genetic testing and things like that. I'm not a fan of that. Instead, you can change the epigenetics, change the environment of the cells so that your cells can express the positive genes, the healthier genes. There's always a probability of issues, genetically, and that happens naturally as well. There could be 1 in 100 chance of Down syndrome or whatever it may be. But none of my clients ever, in the history of 12 years, have ever had any genetic issues. And that's got to count for something. There's a lot more scientific research about the epigenetic protocol and fertility. It's about changing your egg health and really getting into what's happening on the follicle health level, as well as the sperm health level and the uterus, the womb lining. All of that has to come into balance. And so when I hear of clients going, I want to do the program, but I don't think I will, I can't afford it, and they just drop off. And literally I'll hear from them within a year. They're completely distraught. Nothing else has worked. Some clients, in fact, one in particular, I didn't see her for 2 years. She got in touch with me and she said, I initially wanted to do your program, but then my husband talked me into doing IVF, and we've done 12 rounds. Nothing's worked. No more clinics are working with us anymore. We've traveled all over the world. Please, can you help us? You're our last hope. And I do hear regular stories like this. And when I have a client that returns to me in that state, when I say return, she was never officially a client. We just had a session or two, and I told her how I could help her. She's got so much more emotional trauma to deal with. And this emotional trauma stays in the energy field. So it's a lot harder for us to shift things, to get into that positive mind frame, because there is the trauma of trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing. And the brain just says, every time I try, I fail when it comes to fertility. So why would it be different now? That's why you've got to do a completely different protocol, but one that brings you joy. And that's what this fertile lifestyle does. Even though it's an online program, it's tailored for so many different personality types. There's over 150 different meditations, and you don't have to do 150 of them. You might only like 10 or 20 of them. Some clients do all of them. They love them. They just listen to the variety. But there are a lot that just listen to about 10 or 20, and they still get results, because it's about you shifting into a state of joy, because joy is one of the highest vibrations, and joy is what connects you to baby. Joy is what is the vibration that baby's at. So if you can match baby's vibration, then baby can come sooner, because baby feels what you feel. We all know this. When in utero, the baby will feel what the mother feels. If the mother's stressed, then baby will be stressed. If the mum's in a state of ease and grace and empowerment, then that's beautiful. That's what baby can connect with. And baby connects with you energetically before spiritually. Trauma, for example, stays in your energy field. So it's not just about clearing it or masking it with things like hypnotherapy or medication. You want to get to the root cause, because you're still holding the vibration in your field, and you don't want to do that. So when you learn the tools, and they're super easy, super easy, and you learn the techniques that help you to dissolve them, then you get faster fertility success. And I see it time and time again. So if you are 100% committed, 100%, and you want to have your baby in your arms this year, and you are willing to do whatever it takes, and I'm not going to ask you to stand on your head for 3 hours a day. I'm not going to ask you to do anything you don't want to do. And I've had clients, for example, say to me, right, I'm not going to give up my wine. In fact, I drink a bottle a night. I'm not going to give up my hot baths, and I'm not going to give up my sausage rolls, because I love them too. But everything else, I'm going to embrace. And it still works for them. Or clients who have suffered with cancer, who have been told, look, it's never going to happen for you. They go on to have happy, healthy babies. And this is what, and naturally as well, when you've had cancer, it often involves IVF after that. But we can fix everything, because the body can heal, particularly if you're in a high vibrational state. So we want to keep that energy high, the joy high. That's what's so important. So if you are 100% committed to getting results this year, sign up to the online Fertile Lifestyle program. That was the message that I've got for you, lovely lady who wanted to invite your friend into the group, and I think she might have joined already. I don't know, we have quite a few people joining, and we're nearly at 600 people, which is fantastic. So I want to thank you all who have joined the Fertility Help group. Hey! Bushra! Nice of you for watching. You might want to start at the beginning after this because there is a bit of a chunk that you've missed and I'd love for you to hear it too. So, next question that I have forwarded to me, which actually came through from a lady in Canada. Now, I help women all over the world. Now, this is something, I help women and the group is for women, but I also help women's partners. So I can work with the partner, but I always want to work with the woman because the woman is the one who has the covenant with the baby, the spiritual connection. The woman helps the baby come to life here on planet Earth. So I need the woman to be of a certain vibration because I truly believe that all of my clients are having rainbow warrior babies. These are very high vibrational babies, spiritual babies, and they need the mum to be of a certain level of consciousness, which is why you've come into my vortex, into my energy to learn my skills, gifts, and talents to help you raise your vibration so that you can be the best mum to the healthiest possible baby. And when I say the healthiest, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So this client, she said, I need to increase the testosterone for my husband, and a naturopath, because she's over in Canada, or a nutritionist, one of the two, has suggested that he take these. And she took a picture of the ingredients. It's called Testogain, and it's trademarked, but it's full of things like horny goatweed, which is famous for helping men's libido. You've got velvet bean extract. You've got gorkru fruit extract. You've got maca root. You've got Damiana leaf, you've got Mura Puama bark, and you've also got Tongat Atali, which is fantastic. Tongat Ali, I should say. Extract, Panax ginseng. Okay, there's 3 different types of ginseng. This is American, being Panax. Pros and cons with that one, but that's actually a better one for men overall. You've got ashwagandha root extract, which is going to help particularly when he sleeps at night to regenerate sperm, and alkaloids, etc. So I'm very happy with this, very, very happy with this brand. The only thing I'd say is maca isn't meant to be taken every single day for more than 6 months. So you can take it every second day, and it's really only absorbed in the body if you take it with lucuma. So lucuma is very similar to maca. It's a root from Peru, native to Peru. And you say you're taking a teaspoon of maca, for example, you'd take a quarter of a teaspoon of lucuma. But because this is in a capsule form and it doesn't give me the breakdown of how much is in there, then I would probably take, it's difficult to tell, but I'd probably take an eighth of a teaspoon of lucuma, like hardly anything. Just buy yourself a tiny pack. You can get like 150 gram packs of lucuma, and then have that with it. So is that when the hormones come into balance, because that's what maca does. Maca is designed to bring your hormones into balance. But as soon as your hormones are in balance, if you keep taking maca, then your body's out of balance. So that's why it's important to not just willy-nilly take supplements and assume that what you take in the beginning is going to be fine 3 months, 6 months later, which is why I teach all of my clients how to body test, which is using a form of kinesiology. Now, I studied kinesiology. It's a form of muscle testing, and it's what stems from traditional Chinese medicine. You read the energy flow, the currents in the body through the meridians, and how they penetrate the muscles, and how our body has a consciousness. And when you ask the body, is this good for my fertility or not? Is it turning my energy on or off? Then we know whether it's good for your body or not. There's about 200 supplements which are ideal for fertility, but you may only need 2. And I see this all the time with clients, all the time. So getting the right understanding of what your body needs is going to be better than what I believe a doctor would know. Why would a doctor know more than the intelligence of your own body? We are supremely intelligent. Now, if you give your power away and you choose to believe a doctor over you, over your intuitive guidance system, then that's your choice. We have free will. And if you choose to do that, that's fine. Whatever you believe will help you fall pregnant, So if you believe in that doctor and what the doctor suggests, then follow that. If you believe more in your intuition, then follow your intuition. but we do have everything innate. Like our body is designed in such a way, whereas if we're eating clean and we've got balanced emotions and we don't have digestive issues triggered by exposure to toxins, heavy metals, and processed food, we would produce all the enzymes and all the vitamins and all the minerals that we need if we're just living on natural food. And when I say natural, I'm talking about organic. That's natural. Non-organic, it really does play havoc, and it really does cause autoimmune issues, raised natural killer cell issues, poor womb health, poor egg health, because you've got the herbicides, fungicides, pesticides destroying your gut health and unable to get the right nutrients to your body. So, all of this comes into play. So overall, going back to what this client sent through, the other ingredients for the male testosterone supplement, natural supplement, it has vegetable stearate, which I'm not a fan of. It's a lubricant, and the lubricant is designed, and this must be a tablet, because you wouldn't have it in a capsule. So ideally you want to have all of this in a capsule, so maybe you can mirror this ingredient somewhere else. Also, silica, it's another fancy word for sand. Why do you need sand in there? Because you think you're getting more than you're getting with these capsules. Again, you've got to be careful of these kinds of things. Now, you also sent some supplements through, and it's quite detailed. I don't know if you can see all of that. Now, I did scan over it before, so I'm not going to bore you with too much detail, but you've got the L-arginine supplement there. And for me, the best L-arginine supplement for men, and I've seen it time and time again, is a pink drink, and I'll send you some information on that. I'll even attach the information to this live. Basically, it's full of natural L-arginine that's absorbed by the body. This L-arginine, and in fact, everything here doesn't seem to be from a natural source. It all seems to be synthetic. It's good though that they say no wheat, no gluten, no soy, no corn, no egg, no fish, etc. That's what you want. No GM, but you do have magnesium stearate. Not ideal. Not ideal. And when I was reading some of the other ingredients before, they even put in brackets after magnesium stearate that it is a lubricant. So it's not a naturally occurring magnesium stearate found in fruits and vegetables, as sometimes it is, because it's so minute and they have to mention it. They've actually boldly said a lubricant. So toxic, toxic, toxic. Vitamin E, that's good. Yep, tocopherol. That seems to be okay, but it is full of other things like the yeast. The selenium is a form of yeast, so therefore cheap, not ideal. Vitamin C in the form of ascorbic acid, it means that's not natural. It's not 100% bioavailable. It's not being absorbed into the bloodstream. And this is not ideal for you to be taking if you have, it's got a lot of cautions here: diabetes or cancer, cardiovascular disease, skin cancer in particular, liver disorder. That would flag a lot of warning signs for me if I was getting that kind of a warning clearly on the label. So overall, I'm not a huge fan of these. I mean, you've got what looks like good ingredients, but then you look look at the brackets, and in the brackets they're synthetic, so they're not going to be absorbed by the body, not fully. So you think, oh, I'm taking all of these supplements, that's great, or he's going to be taking all of these supplements, but if the body can't absorb it, it just gets urinated out. So what's the point of having something you can't absorb? You're not going to get the results. It's more like a placebo, an expensive urine. And you could actually putting more pressure on the liver, because that has to process all the things that you swallow, and it could even be doing other issues for the kidneys, which is not ideal. Yeah, and your B complex, which I looked at, that's all synthetic. Not a fan of any of that. And the Q10 seemed okay. I was happy with that, but it seems like it's from a packet, and I think it might all be mixed. I'm not too sure. It's just I'm going from your photo. So if you wanted to book a consult with me, we can go through that one-to-one. And also have a look at the other things that are affecting his sperm health. It wouldn't just be nutrition, but nutrition is the best thing to help men. Looking at managing their stress, looking at the lovemaking. That's huge. I did post something quite detailed, giving men lots of tips on how to bring more lustiness back into the bedroom, into the fertility help group. So have a look there. And the guy that wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, I think it's David Gray. Or am I getting confused with the singer? Anyway, I think it's the same guy, same name, different guy. And he has written a fantastic book review. And basically the guy that has put this video together goes into details of how to bring that excitement back to the bedroom, which is so, so, so important. If you're looking to get pregnant, even if you're doing it through IUI and IVF, you need to release certain sex hormones that create a sucking sensation in the body, prepare the mind and body for fertilization. Sex is powerful, okay? Making love is an extension of God. So that's what creates babies. And in this scientific age, we do forget that. And a lot of my clients that first come to me, they're saying, oh, you know, I'm doing IVF and we're not even having sex, not even sleeping in the same bedroom. And it's like, right, we need to bring that back into play. And I don't want it to be a chore. It can't be a chore. It's got to be fun and exciting and really turning you on. That's what gets results. You know, I don't know whether you've heard of things like sex magic, but you can create, you manifest through sex. So when you are both focusing on the same end goal when you orgasm, that's what helps to bring it into manifest. And men experience God through the woman. So when you open yourself up sexually to him, he can experience that, and that's what feeds him on an energetic spiritual level. So it's really key, and I can talk you through more of this if this interests you. But for now, I'd like you to just know that I am here to support you nutritionally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and helping you to change your cellular environment, because I want you to get results. I want you to get results as much as you do. And why do I want you to get results as much as you do? Because I've got one of the world's highest success rates. I only know of an IVF clinic in the US that boasts an 80% success rate. And I don't work with IVF. I am completely natural. But if you wanted to do IVF, what I do complements that and increases your chances, because I put you in a relaxed state. You can't achieve success if you're all tense. The body tenses up. And when it tenses up, it's not going to be juicy and in flow. You're blocking yourself off from abundance, from that connection to source, from that connection to God. And we don't want that. And that's why I talk about this in the January Awakening Fertility Seminar, how you can use your emotional guidance system to see whether you're on track and in alignment or whether you're not. And if you're not, how to get you back. It's that simple. So again, I'm going to send you that resource link, send you some information about the epigenetic protocol, how it works. And I don't know whether you know, but my online fertile lifestyle program, it comes with a guarantee to make sure that your fertility does transform. And that's huge. It's a money back guarantee. So I've never had to give anyone's money back because everyone succeeds. And the ones that don't succeed are the ones that usually, you know, they say to me, and some women find this absolutely difficult to comprehend, but they discover, actually, I don't really want to have a baby. I thought I did, but I really love my life. I really love this. I really love that. And I think I've got just the best life ever, and I don't actually want to have a baby. I thought I did. So that's where the bulk of the women go. And the other percentile are ones that are genetically too similar, like they look like brother and sister. So the body will naturally keep aborting because of the chromosomal. When I say issues, because I can help with other chromosomal issues, you know, the chromosomes mean that you're going to have issues, that the baby's just going to struggle health-wise because you are too similar. It's like being brother and sister. It doesn't work. It's not meant to be like that. We're meant to have more diverse genes. Or sometimes they can just be so wiped out from so many different medications that and prolonged stress, you know, fertility medications and prolonged stress that can bring on other illnesses and diseases. And that can therefore mean that they are infertile. So that's been the only small percentage of people that have never succeeded, and that's quite extreme. And when I say that, there's about less than 5. Oh, hello Renee. Thank you so much for joining me. So I wanted to share all that with you today. If you've got any questions, ladies that are watching, just ask me. I'm here. This is the point of the live. Otherwise, if you don't want to ask in public, then head on over to the Fertility Help Group. I'm going to post this up nice and quick, probably in the next 5 minutes, and you can leave your confidential questions and comments there, and I look forward to helping you. And for everyone else, there is going to be a newsletter coming out this week. They come out fortnightly, and I'm also going to be reminding you that we have our de-stress challenge, our 30-day fertility de-stress challenge. It's free to get involved, and it's really making a difference to a lot of people. So I know that there are some who've just started again on day 1 because they've missed a day, and the others I think are at day 10 today. So it's not too late to join. Get involved. You'll feel amazing. You'll manage your stress because, like I said earlier, when you're stressed, it turns fertility off. So we want to keep your fertility turned on, and that's just creating the foundation for you to then get yourself baby ready. It's not the overall solution, but it's a stepping stone, okay? And we want to put all of this together in the epigenetics protocol to get you baby ready in 2019. Let's make it happen, because it can happen, and I see it happening over and over and over again. 12 years, ladies, I've been doing this. I know it works. So let me help you. Thank you so much for your questions today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for Q&A Wednesday, but I'll be coming to you live. I will be with a girlfriend of mine, and we have a spa day booked, so might have a towel on my head, I don't know, but we're going to be nicely pampered with facials and all these kinds of things, so I'm going to be sharing my abundance vibe with you. And that's what it's about, abundance and being in flow. And that's why you want to be having people around you that are abundant, that are in flow, that are positive, that are fertile. Because you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So hopefully that's me, as I'm hopefully going to be one of your 5. And I can get you baby ready, and no more suffering, no more suffering. Let 2019 be your year of having your baby and having faster fertility success. Lots of love. Bye for now.